Hello, my name is Linda Bondestam and I'm an illustrator from Finland. I was extremely creative as a child. It was a bit like a volcano. I was doing things all the time with my hands, and I'm a middle child, and my siblings, they are very neat persons, and also my parents, they like when things are really in order and everything looks nice a bit. They wanted their home to look a bit like in a hotel, so everything nicely placed and in the right order. But I was extremely creative and quite messy, and creating books and painting and sewing things all the time, doing arts and crafts. But my parents were extremely supportive, and they let me do anything and always gave me good materials, and also cleaned after me, which was fantastic because it was so easy to start new art projects when you had a clean table. I actually went to art school first in Helsinki, but it was like a secondary school, I think you would say in English, specializing in arts. But then after that I went abroad. I went to London to study illustration for 4 years. Well, I think I always was an artist, but I didn't know that illustrating children's books was possible to do as a profession. So I tried to think about something else creative that I could do. I even thought I could be a furniture designer at some point, which is really funny because my style is extremely two-dimensional, and I don't think I could design sofas that are good looking and also functional. I really like to make stories with my art, to tell stories, and I think myself, many of my best childhood memories are when I'm reading with my grandmother or my parents, or even by myself, and also I think children's books, of course I really like children and want to make good stories for them, but I always think that the best books actually are those who can be read by people of any age, when I think it can be an artistic experience for both the children and the artists, and it doesn't have to have an age limit. Rosabelle is written by a Finnish writer called Malin Kivelä, and we have made, I think, 3 books together, and Rosabelle was the 3rd one, and I think we got the idea together somehow, because I told Malin that I always wanted to make a horse book, but at the same time I think horses are really difficult to draw, so somehow I wanted to challenge myself. And also I like the idea with Rosabelle being this really strong, chubby little girl who can survive among all the long-legged horses, who are actually quite shallow, and maybe they don't have a very interesting life. Rosabelle gets to do many exciting things because she's not scared, and she's ready to escape from the stables and try new things. For example, when I did Rosabelle, I really had to watch horses and learn a lot about horses, because I never knew a horse as a child, even if I liked animals a lot. So I had to go to the stables, and I even took horseback riding classes a few times, and I just watched the horses a lot to get to know how they really look, and also to get the right feeling for the book. So I look a lot for inspiration, especially if a project feels difficult, if something is difficult to draw. And of course I work quite a lot. I think I really love my job, but at the same time I quite often take on too many books, and there are so many wonderful texts that I feel that I want to illustrate. And sometimes when you have too much to do, of course it can be a struggle to get started and work hard enough, but I think a lot of the time you really have to, it's not all about inspiration, it's a lot about pushing yourself also. And then when you pushed yourself for a while, suddenly you realize that something goes right, or something maybe goes wrong, but it looks better than you thought, and then you get the inspiration. But it's a lot about self-discipline and let me think. I'm sure I have a lot of artists who inspired me. When I was a child, my uncle inspired me a lot. He's a kite artist and an architect, but he makes absolutely fantastic kites. He designs three-dimensional, colorful objects, and so he was very inspiring. But I also watch a lot of movies and get inspired. I think it's children's books are a lot about telling a story, and I also go to the theater a lot. I'm also part of a little theater group, and that's really inspiring. Yes, wow. Together with some writers and illustrators, and that's a lot of fun because illustrating can also be quite lonely, and when we do something in a group, it's, yeah, I think it's really so entertaining, and also the dynamics change when you are in a group, but it's still the same storytelling. But of course I like many contemporary children's books writers and illustrators a lot, and of course Tove Jansson, who was a Finnish children's book illustrator and artist and writer. I think she has inspired every Finnish artist. I like being in nature a lot, and usually we go to a small island with my family where we stay for the whole summer and sometimes in the weekend as well, and I really enjoy being in nature where it's peaceful, so I love that. But I also have a dog, so I like walking a lot outside in nature, and I love, of course, bicycling and being with my friends. And maybe I would say my biggest hobby is my theater group. Or at least it started as a hobby, but now we have quite a lot of people who have hired us for different events, so it's becoming more or less, more or less a profession, I have to say. Well, I hope you will enjoy my work, and I hope it will inspire you to read and explore more illustrators and children's books from the Nordic countries. And yes.
So, where is this place?
Kaapelitehdas.
Kaapelitehdas.
That's right.
Oh. So a lot of artists have a studio here.
And yes, a lot, and a very creative
I see. You also have a studio here, right?
Yes.
And you said you are living that side.
Yeah, I live on the island called Lauttasaari.
To come here, you're riding a bicycle?
Yes, every morning I take my bike.
Wow, how long does it take?
I would say maybe 12 minutes.
Wow, okay.
Or less.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Nice, wow. Look at the view.
And it's a nice contrast because this place looks very industrial, and the island where I live is there. You get a lot of nature and.
Right. This building used to be a factory before.
Factory for cables.
For cables.
Yeah, It's called the
no
cable
wonder.
factory. Yeah.
I see.
Kapeli means cable.
Ah, interesting.
And a few years ago we used to have a garden here.
Oh,
But then
why they
changed.
removed?
They wanted the sauna. So,
sauna good.
yeah, I guess.
Finland is a very cold country, so you need a sauna.
Yeah.